Okay, so I saved this special and didn't include it in the regular recap video because I'm going to need to rant for a few minutes regarding the most disappointing, disgraceful, embarrassing ball club in Major League Baseball. And they're not even having a horrible season record wise, although I think if you have Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout on the same team and you're a game under 500, that's disappointing in and of itself. The Los Angeles Angels are the biggest fucking joke in Major League Baseball, and I'm really getting sick and tired of this shit. You know, Rob Manfred, he's changing the rules. He's making interleague play, mandatory. You play every team to try and get these stars seen in different areas. How about you do this, Rob Manfred, okay? I'm going to talk directly to Rob Manfred right now. I hope you're listening to this video. You probably won't because I'm a nobody and am using bad language, but whatever. It needs to be done. Rob Manfred, if you are listening, if you care about baseball fans like you say you do, you know what you should do? You should force the Los Angeles Angels to trade Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. Can we start I want to start a GoFundMe page. Free Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. Only you can save these two individuals from a career of obscurity. Do you know how embarrassing it is that you have a modern day Babe Ruth? Not since Babe fucking Ruth in the 1930s have you had a guy who's a great pitcher and a great hitter doing it at the same time. Unprecedented. And no, I'm not here to suck Shohei Ohtani's cock, but you get what I'm saying. An unbelievable talent being forced to waste away his career in a godforsaken shithole that the Los Angeles Angels have created. I mean, this team is so bad. Shohei Ohtani strikes out double digits again, and they beat the fucking Royals 2-0. And then last night, indicative, and I was mad from the end of the Red Sox series. If you guys remember, maybe some of you guys are returning viewers. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you've subscribed to the channel if you haven't already, but that's neither here nor there. Point being, after the Red Sox series, I was pissed off. How you lose 2 out of 3, you lose 3 out of 4 from the Red Sox. Fucking, your bullpen blows every goddamn game in the series. And then last night against the Royals, who had lost, 9 straight games, 10 straight games. I can't even keep track. They lose every night. You blow a 5-run lead in the 9th inning and lose to the Royals. They have the worst bullpen in baseball. I don't know if that's true or not, statistically wise, but it seems like they blow leads every game. This team is garbage. This team sucks. Bullpen's terrible. Can we start a petition? Is Joe Biden watching? Mr. President, if you're watching, do an executive order. Can Congress agree on that? Could we get Congress involved? I mean, seriously, I'm thinking like Supreme Court. Let's go to the Supreme Court. Let's go to Congress. The United States military. The police. Somebody. Can we have a sit-in to save these 2 generational talents from obscurity where their bullpen blows every game? Manager can't manage his way out of a paper bag? I mean, this seems a joke. Most disappointing teams, in the recap, I talked about the Royals suck, the A's suck. Nobody sucks worse than the Angels. I mean, it's hard to compare it to another sport. I mean, it really is. You have guys who, let's be honest. Trout's been an MVP. Ohtani, an MVP. And the team still sucks. I mean, they finished how many games below 500 last year? And they're probably going to do it again. They lose 2 out of 3 to the Yankees. They lose to the Royals. They'll probably lose 2 out of 3 to the Royals. They can't win. They suck. I mean, I'm trying to think of the comp. Patrick Mahomes. Imagine Patrick Mahomes Because you really need to go sort of above and beyond. And I know the sports, it's not comparable. A star in the NBA has a lot more power than a star in baseball. But you get the idea. I mean, the comparison is, think about sort of like a top 5 player. I'm not even talking about a good player, because we've seen Matt Stafford, he's with the Lions and then he goes to a better team. But I'm not talking about the Matt Stafford. I'm talking about like the Patrick Mahomes of the world. Imagine Patrick Mahomes right now, and his team is like, 6-11 every year. Imagine LeBron James in his prime. And his team is, 20 games below 500. I mean, the only game the Angels win in New York, Ohtani hits a 2-run homer. They beat the Royals 2-0 because Ohtani has like 8 shutout innings. I mean, it's unbelievable. Now, I think it's hard, because if you look at pure WAR, Ohtani leads the league in WAR because he had a positive WAR as a pitcher and hitter. So maybe that's not a fair comparison. I mean, if you look at it, Aaron Judge had a 17 WAR last year as a position player. Ohtani's WAR as a position player was 8.2. So, but at the end of the day, you have 2 of the best players in baseball. And the fact that they just consistently are this bad. What, you can't get a bullpen? It's that hard for the Angels to get a bullpen. You can't find anybody. The fucking shit-ass Orioles team has held the Tigers to like 3 runs in the last 2 days. You can't tell me you can't find a bullpen anywhere. There's no bullpen help. It's unbelievable. And I'm trying to think of another comp. And it's really hard. Because you need to think of basically top 5, top 10 players in the league. Not just at their position. In the league. Where the team's terrible. And where they consistently perform. Because it's not like Ohtani's there and he was hitting, a $180 and, his ERA was 7. And the guy led the league in WAR last year and they were 20 games under 500. Mike Trout's been good. No, under 500. I mean, I'm trying to think of a comp. It's really hard to do. Luka Doncic maybe? But, there's a lot of NBA players who are good. I don't know if you'd say he's top 5. I guess some people would. But they have so much load management and rest. I don't know if that's fair. I'm trying to think. Football? Teams with good quarterbacks, they pretty much are always competitive. Aaron Rodgers was a game away from making the playoffs, and he wasn't even that good last year. Tom Brady made the playoffs. He was terrible. So there really isn't a comparison. And this team, again, you just look at them, and they should be so much better. And maybe this is bitterness because we've backed the Angels and they've lost, but their starting pitching, other than Ohtani, is dreadful. Their bullpen is garbage. This is a bad fucking team. So, anyway. Let me not rant anymore. This video is almost 10 minutes. But yeah. Had to save them. They were a special case because this Angels team, it's really, again, like I said, Rob Manfred, if you're listening. You go and you could do all you want to make sure that every team in the league sees Mike Trout. But why would you even want to watch this team nationally? This team isn't going to be in the playoffs. Look at the World Baseball Classic. Ohtani, Trout in the championship. That's the closest they're going to get to winning anything. They're not winning with the Angels. It's a joke. And again, there are good players on other teams. I'm not saying that, there's good players on other teams, bad teams that are not being, Look at Luis Suarez. The guy's unbelievable. He was a batting champ last year in the American League. Seems like he gets a hit every game. As a Mets fan, we saw him in Miami. Guy hit like 700 against us. He's on a Miami team that doesn't get... But it's very rare to have sort of a... let's be honest. You got a modern-day Babe Ruth. I mean, the All-Star game, everyone was lining up to rub him off. I know that's a little crude, but it's true. Ohtani this, Ohtani that. Who gives a fuck? You know why people care about Aaron Judge more? The Yankees win. New York helps, but the Yankees are a good team. They win. They won yesterday. 2-0, give the lead right back. Boom. There they go. LeMahieu, pinch hit, RBI to win the game. They're just winning teams. They're in the playoffs. You care about them. What good is it seeing Shohei Ohtani for a few games? By fucking July, this season will be over. I mean, I don't mind. The Astros haven't even gotten off to a good start, but the Rangers are still on top of that division. I know Rob Manfred really can't make the trade, but what are the Angels doing? Is it that hard? Joey Lucchesi threw a fucking shutout for the Mets. There's no Joey Lucchesi out there that the Angels could find. Nobody decent. Look at the Rays. The Rays, here, this is the Rays budget. See this empty shot glass? That's the Rays budget. And every year they find a way to be competitive. They find different people. They have no money. And they're 18-3. Haven't lost a game at home yet. That's the Rays. They get rid of every good player they have, and it's just one after another. Another good guy, another good guy. Say what you will about the Mets. You could say the Mets, Steve Cohen, he just buys championships. Did he buy Pete Alonso? Look at that guy, 10 home runs. He hits the cover out of the ball. He's playing great. So no, it's not just money. It's not just big market. It's embarrassing. I'm angry. Because you have a generational talent. And what other sport? You know, baseball wonders why they have no fans. What other sport? Tell me one other sport where this happens. Tell me one other sport where you have a generational talent that nobody could see because their team sucks. And you could see him. He's going to be in Citi Field. He's in, he was at Yankee Stadium. Who gives a fuck? Is he going to be in big games? The All-Star game, a big game for you? Everyone's going to go and, Shohei Ohtani, he's so wonderful, he's so beautiful. Who cares? I hope he leaves the Angels, goes to a real team. Somebody who could manage. Somebody who's good at, Again, you could say big market, small market, but I mean, no offense. You look at, and we talked about them. Pittsburgh Pirates off to a good start. The Baltimore Orioles off to a good start. The Diamondbacks in lead in their division. You're telling me the Angels with Trout and Ohtani can't be the Baltimore Orioles, Pittsburgh Pirates, the Diamondbacks, the Miami Marlins with their 5 people in the stadium are over 500. Look at the pitching they've got. Did they buy those guys? Luis Ariz. Or Jesus Ariz. Forgot his name now. Sandy Alcantara. Jesus Luzardo, I was thinking of. Did they buy those people? So don't give me this bullshit that the Angels can't figure it out because it's a joke. An absolute joke. That this team can't find a way to be competitive in Los Angeles. I know they're the second team. The Mets are the second team too. Look at what they're doing. What's their record been on this road trip? What have they dropped? 2 games in this West Coast road trip? Beat the Dodgers in the series? Swept the A's? You lost to the A's. Opening day. That was the beginning. Shohei Ohtani. The modern day Babe Ruth lost in a game to the Oakland A's. They have fucking 4 wins all year. All right. 15 minutes. I have to stop. I could rant about this team for hours. I probably will again. It's very rare it happens, but they're terrible. And it's a shame they're depriving baseball fans. And again, I have the MLB package. I can watch them every day. I don't want to watch a fucking 10 and 12 team. I don't want to bet on a 10 and 12 team. They're always big favorites. They're always minus 250 favorites, even though they never win. I mean, they're minus 250 again against the Royals, and they'll probably lose. So, all right. Well, if you listened, thanks so much. This rant was long overdue. It's been building for a while, so I had to get it off my chest. As always, if you like any of our content, if you want to follow our picks, I'm trying to do MLB picks every day. I know Big Bucks has done some NHL picks recently. We're going to be a lot busier during football season, so if you like anything you've heard, if you share our frustration, certainly feel free to comment, send a message, whatever you want to do. But other than that, thanks for listening. This is Money Management signing off.